Welcome to Ben Armstrong Crypto. It is the home of Ben Armstrong Crypto and you. And boy, do we have an exciting video for you today. And I'm telling you, you're going to want to watch this video if you have any interest in Bitcoin, if you have any interest in the show, the next Crypto Gym, because we're about to totally expose those mother chuckers. And no, I'm not talking about Layan, I'm not talking about George, but everybody else pretty much involved. We're going to explain to you today why Bitcoin has struggled. We're going to explain to you why Bitcoin took a massive crash last month. We're going to talk to you about the promises that were made and then what actually happened. I know none of you guys have heard of this coin because it's a totally useless coin. It doesn't do anything. But it's called Hourglass token. We're going to be talking about that today, and we're going to be showing you how the people behind Hourglass token are the reason why, if you're in Bitcoin, you have lost money. Now we know the Bitcoin price is rebounding, and we are super excited about it, and we are super excited to push Bitcoin and to push what we believe is the future of crypto adoption. But we are going to be exposing the dishonesty from a billionaire and his little buddy. He's a little guy, a little buddy. So we're going to be talking about this, and we're going to show you when these people dump the price, and we're going to be explaining to you who they are. And I will tell you this, I believe we're onto something bigger here. I don't think the people involved in this are simply obsessed with doing this for Bitcoin and launching the worthless Hourglass token. We're going to be explaining to you what happened here with Bitcoin, and I believe that the people involved in this story, people need to be asking a lot of questions about these people, because especially one of the people involved in pump and dump and pump and dump and pump and dump after the next. And it's time that this stuff gets called out. So what is Bitcoin? Okay, pioneering crypto adoption. And I really want everybody to understand this. If you're in Bitcoin or you're considering getting into Bitcoin, there were obstacles in the way of Bitcoin that I didn't know. There were things that were put in place in order to hurt the price. I believe there was also a plan to hurt me, but that's another story. The point is, by the end of this video, you're going to understand some of the things that have actually been involved here, why the Bitcoin price has struggled, and how we're free from those things. And as we head to V2, we are going to be in a really, really good spot. Our V2 of Bitcoin launches on Halloween. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. The word wait has actually been ruined for me permanently. And I know you guys think I'm going to come on here if you watch that show and trash some nobody on Twitter that's been slamming me. No, that guy gets no attention. But the point is this. We are pioneering crypto adoption. This is what the coin is about here. Okay. Well, we got to change the merch link here because this merch doesn't exist anymore due to all the turbulence around this. But let's go ahead and get into what Bitcoin is. Okay. We of course have our community. You guys can get access to all this. We're gonna have some links down below in the videos for you guys. In the description. Here are some of our ambassadors, Davey and Brad. Super excited to have them on. We'll click on the foundation here. And this is what Bitcoin is about, guys. Bitcoin is about public awareness campaigns. We've got another meeting next week with our billboard people to see if we can get that back up and running. Political presence, definitely something that we want to see. Crypto education. We've got a really exciting meeting next week about crypto education, and then unbiased reporting. We're trying to make the media space fair. So the whole point of Bitcoin is to bring on crypto adoption through pulling people together and using different, with V2, we're going to have some income streams to take that money and to put it into crypto adoption. I think it's really exciting when we head into the bull run next year, when the bull run really gets going after the halving. I think Bitcoin is going to be a major player in this market, and it's going to be $1 billion market cap plus. In my opinion, I can't guarantee that obviously, but I believe that we are going to move there. And now that we are free from the albatross around our neck, I think you guys are going to see there's a reason why the price is going up right now. So this is the Bitcoin Twitter page. You guys can see this at Join Bitcoin. And if you want to go to us on Twitter and follow us on Twitter, you can click Linktree right here. And this is going to take you to Ben Nation. That is right. Advocacy, education, transparency, representation. You can get to us. You can buy it on Uniswap or MetaMask. Follow us on Twitter, X, however you want to say it. We've got the Discord server, the Telegram. Really encourage you guys to join both the Discord server and the Telegram. And then we also have Join Bitcoin. This is the website, actually. So here we go. What is all that stuff on the screen? What is it doing there? That's bizarre. All right, guys, let's talk about this. So this is a show. It's called The Next Crypto Gym. It's got Leah Halpern and George from Cryptos R Us. And I was on the show for one episode. I was brought in, and this is where I really started a relationship with a guy named Jet. And we're going to talk about that. Jet is actually who hooked me up with Donald Trump Jr. So being my friend, showing me around, like showing me, people, he's got connections to Trump and stuff. And it was big. Like I really enjoyed my interview with Donald Trump Jr. I think he's a great guy. Maybe a man of his word. I mean, maybe people can pick that up, but Jet, definitely not a man of his word, which we'll show. But George and Leia have nothing to do with this. And I want people to understand, you can go watch the show and it's entertaining. And George and Leia don't deserve probably to be hooked up. They don't deserve to be hooked up with these people. Brian Evans, we're going to be talking about how this is one of the biggest scammers in the entire industry. We're going to show you how he gets all of his followers. And we're going to break all of this down. Why am I showing you this? It's because the people behind this show, Jeff Mahoney and Cliff Jet Tang is his name. He goes by Jet or Ultra Starter on Twitter. And we're going to be showing you guys how these guys strategically dumped Bitcoin at the bottom. We've got the receipts. Everybody knows this is going. There is also crossover between some of the previous companies that I worked with and Brian Evans and Cliff as well. They're thick as thieves in with, some of the goings-ons that are around the situation. And you'll see that they got advanced information about what was going to happen before, I was ever removed or whatever you want to say, whatever happened with me in my previous company. That's not important. This isn't about talking about the situation of the previous company. I'm going to show you guys how the guys absolutely dumped the price of Bitcoin, sold 30 trillion tokens. I think that was the number that I had last. It was 30 trillion tokens with a project that has 420 approximate trillion tokens in V1. And I also wanted to really quickly see if I could find something else I want to show you guys because it was relevant. Let's see here if I can find that. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Perfect. I have this right here. So I'm going to show you guys that text as well. And I will be dropping all of these addresses down below in the description. So let's move on. Let's talk about Hourglass. Now, this is a garbage token. They bought it from somebody else. I don't even remember what it was called first. But I want to introduce you guys to the players here. We have Jeff Mahoney, a billionaire, as you guys can see here. Hourglass, a decentralized community-driven token. I'm not going to talk about Hourglass at all because it's stupid. I don't even know what it does. The whole plan was basically to get me to come along and pump it. I mean, that's what they wanted by getting me involved. And you can see they got George and Leia involved, obviously. They have real followings as opposed to Brian Evans, but, trying to do anything to get somebody to pump their coin. So here is Jeff Mahoney right here. And I don't know what Jeff's involvement here is. I don't know if Jeff really knows what Jet's doing, but maybe he does. If he does, then it's really, really bad. You guys can see Jeff there with Elvira. So pretty cool. Oh, that's not her name. Wow. Big shocker. So here we go. He also is the chairman of Save Daily Holdings Corporation, which is how he became a billionaire. Now I want you guys to understand, I've alluded to the fact that Bitcoin was backed by a billionaire. Meet the billionaire, guys. Here he is. These are the people that purchased Bitcoin from Ben.eth. They paid $1.7 million for the coin. And we were supposed to split split it 50-50. I was obviously going to be the chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation. The Bitcoin Foundation obviously is in control still of all of our tokens that we originally received. There were some, I think, maybe that were paid for expenses at different points. We're talking about a very small amount. Originally, we were both supposed to receive about 29 trillion tokens. There was a percentage that was sent out to some other people. But Jeff Mahoney and Jet here, you guys can see Jet, here he is. These were the people that purchased Bitcoin. So no wonder they wanted to have an Hourglass partnership. They were leveraging this to get me to talk about their coin and different stuff. You guys can see anything this guy's involved with, I would run away from as much as possible. He's a Weasley little guy. You can see. Kind of looks like he's 12. But regardless, I digress. And guys, I'm pissed. I want everybody to know I'm pissed. You hear me making fun of these people? They deserve it. They dumped almost 10% of the supply on you. They dumped almost 10% of the supply of Bitcoin on you. And you should be pissed too. You should be pissed at these people. And so, yes, I am going to be a little aggressive in this video because I'm so angry about what I've discovered today. So let's move on here. So this is Jet. Ultra starter, ultra dumper, we'll call him. You guys can see here he is with Neft Vodkas. How about that? Look at this cheesy smile. I don't know who that guy is. But there he is with the dev. You can see he's a little Weasley guy. Look how Weasley he is. Look at his little cute thumb. Precious. And here you go. You can see him hanging out with Brian Evans. You want to talk about another scammer, the king of the scammers, Brian Evans. Everything this guy touches is a pump and dump. The project Bots. Bots was a project that Brian Evans got involved with along with other people, and people that were involved in the project know who I'm talking about. And all of a sudden one night, let's go look at the Bots chart actually. Let's pull this up here. Pull up CoinGecko and let's go here and check this out. Let's put in Bots. It was a project I liked. They actually were building stuff for me. And then unfortunately, Twitter changed their API structure, and then all of a sudden it didn't work anymore. So here we go. Let's go to the daily chart with Bots. And you guys can see this, okay? There were a lot of influencers that were making videos about it. I had talked about it a little bit, maybe somewhere over here. I told people I owned some of this. I was actually really bullish on this project. But the first couple days of this, they tried to get me in on it. And then all of a sudden, somebody dumped. Look at that. What a massive move down. And then price goes back up. And then exit liquidity. Can you say Brian Evans? I can. Brian Evans is the person that dumped this price along with someone else, and I'm not even supposed to say his name right now. So they were involved in dumping this price. There were several projects that Brian Evans has been involved with. Bambi was one of those projects. Him and another person attempted to get everybody in the world to come into Bambi and try to pump it to high heavens. And of course, they're taking profits and they're dumping the entire time. This is the way that this guy works. He pulls people in close to him and then he uses them to make money for himself. And, the money, I don't know where it goes. But I would say that, I don't know if you guys have ever been to, what is that called? A washer and dryer? Like, what is that called when you have a washer and dryer and you clean your clothes? Or what do you call the place where you go to a place that's got a ton of washers and dryers and you put in coins? What do you call that? I don't know. I think you launder your clothes there. And when you understand that, you might figure out what Brian Evans is doing. But the point here is this is just a piece of the different projects that I can talk to you about that Brian Evans has played an integral role in absolutely dumping and destroying. Now let's check out Brian Evans here on Twitter. Well, look at this. Brian Evans, also the guy that sent my bill over to Brett Harrison FTX, trying to be my friend so he could use me, obviously, for to pump and dump his own coins. And look at this. Here it is. Look at Brian Evans. CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, Entrepreneur, Influencer, Men's Journal. He's got basically an arm the size of a toothpick, so I don't know why he's in Men's Journal. Forbes, Rolling Stone, and GQ. You don't look good, Brian. I don't know what this freaking low IQ smile is, but let's check this out, guys. Never trust someone that follows 55.7 thousand people. This number, by the way, was actually over 100,000 recently. He does what's called follow and follow, which means he goes and he basically follows everybody under the moon, sees who's going to follow him back, and then slowly unfollows them all on Twitter to build up his following. He's got 1.3 million followers, guys. And look at this, 545 likes here in a world that's seemingly flooded. 6,748 likes, 2,400. Cool, 330, 4,900, 6,000. None of this is real, guys. None of this is real. Like, I hope you understand that. All of these comments are bots. Affinity Collective, by the way, that's Brian Evans. The top comment on his own post is Brian Evans. This is a Brian Evans account, and I believe he's got accounts everywhere. Look at this stupid bot comment. Definitely relationship builder mentality is key. What does that have to do with this post? Here it is. In a realm where everyone's armed with fancy data analytics and elite AI, remember, real power is wielded by those with battle-hardened instinct and an incredible inner circle. Obviously, this makes sense. Definitely relationship builder mentality is key. Oh, and there we go. There's another one of those guys. But here's the thing, guys. When you go to Brian Evans and you look at what is going on here with his account, let's go here back to Brian Evans, back to the scammer Brian Evans. You guys can look down here. You can see his tweets, guys. None of these are legitimate. None of these are real. None of his likes are real. None of his engagement is real. He shoehorned himself into trying to be popular because he needs to be popular in order to scam everyone. So you look at this, when you go look at these articles about him, what you'll find is he paid for them. He paid to be on some of, like, what was the one? I think it was Forbes South Africa or something like that. If you look at the people that were listening, oh, and look at this. Here they are. There they are. Butt buddies. There they are. Jet and Brian, butt buddies to write home with. So the fact is, I mean, God, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that. But when you look at Brian Evans and let's go to his website and let's take a look at some of the scammy stuff he freaking does. Founder, Web3 and crypto investor, incorporated 500 entrepreneur. Let's see if we can find any of these articles or any of these clickable. None of these are clickable. Interesting. You come here, see Brian Projects, Influencive, which is a failed social media platform that he's tried to pawn off and sell to me 7 times. Affinity Collective, told you it's him. Shocker. Alpha District, upcoming Web3 game universe. Who cares? None of that stuff's important. Here we go. Check this out. The Forbes Crypto Top 40. I want to show you guys how stupid this is. Okay, this guy. The Forbes Brunei, of course, we love Brunei. Crypto Top 40, okay? Number 1, Vitalik Buterin. Number 2, Michael Saylor. Number 3, Sandeep Nawal, the guy from Polygon. Andre, and no idea who he is. Yatsui, co-founder of Animoca. Joseph Lubin. Eric Voorhees. Sebastian Bourget from Sandbox. Jack Dorsey, and look at this at number 8, freaking Brian Evans. When in the world should Brian Evans be mentioned with Joseph Lubin and Eric Voorhees? Okay, Sebastian above Jack Dorsey. Like, can we please be for real about this? He paid to get listed in this article because that's what he does. He tried to bring, so what happens is, these are the people that bought Bitcoin. Brian is the one who brought it together, and Jet and Jeff are the ones that fronted the money. Of course, Brian took off at some point. Of course, he's in cahoots with a lot of people involved in this situation. But he tried to bring in this guy, Peter. And I want to talk about Cassie for a minute. Cassie's the CEO of Bitcoin. Everybody knows she's in the truck. Everybody knows that. But the point is that he tried to bring in Peter, and he literally tried to fire Cassie. And I know Brian and Jet are in cahoots because I thought I could trust Jet, and I told Jet I had a lot of questions about Brian Evans' integrity. He's been involved in a lot of failed projects. Cyber Hornets is another NFT project that Brian Evans dumped to high heavens. Go look it up. I'm 99% sure that's the name of it. My guy Rex could tell me. But the point is, people have caught him doing this pump and dump stuff over and over again. So he brings in this guy, Peter Gurr, the founder of Wise Token. And he tells me that Peter sent me some stuff a couple years ago. He tells me that Peter has built the biggest liquidity pool on Uniswap. So let's check this out. Let's go to Uniswap and let's see what this says here. The Wise ETH pair. Let's check this out and let's see if this is the biggest. It's $103 million in total liquidity. The volume is $264. The volume is not thousands. $264, and he's made 79 cents in fees today. Great job. Brian tries to sell me that Peter is this incredible guy who's going to come in and change the biggest liquidity pool in the world. All that stuff's fake, obviously. Like, yeah, it's got a lot of money in it. I don't know, probably 100 money. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Okay, but I just don't know where the money is. I don't know what it is. But the point is he tries to get Peter. He tries to get Peter in with me to be the CEO of Bitcoin, or the CEO of Bitcoin. And at first, like, I'm under these guys' spell. I think they're being honest with me because I'm trusting. And he uses Peter. Peter comes and asks for a $350,000 a year salary. When he says that's the average for a CEO, or it was a COO, actually, I think it was. A COO average salary is $350,000 a year. First of all, that's not even close to correct. But second of all, this was simply Brian Evans trying to move Cassie out of the way so Peter could control the project and do what he wanted to do. That's Brian's MO. Brian is always bringing in people from the outside. He's got a super scammy market maker that controls all these pump and dumps, and he tries to bring that guy in order to, his name's Sammy, tries to bring that guy in order to do these pump and dumps. Well, when I started having questions about Brian's integrity, I told Jet. And then wouldn't you know it, right after that, Brian Evans sends me a text or apologizes. I'm Team Ben, blah, 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 blah. Because Jet immediately went to him and said, Ben doesn't trust you. Why would you, if you were a person in business and someone came to you and told you there were questions about someone's integrity, why would you directly go to that person? And if that person heard that, why would they directly respond to you and try to make you think that they're still on your side? Obviously, there was a controlled plan to be able to take over Bitcoin. And so here's where we get some really good stuff here, okay? Here we are. This is the bin price chart, guys. And I want you guys to notice something here, okay? I want you guys to notice right here from August 18th, okay, from August 18th or 17th here, you can see the price dumps dramatically. Now, I have a text message right here. I want to show you guys. Text message here. You guys can see this here. Hopefully you can see this. I don't know if you can. You know what? Let me screenshot it, actually. And let me send this to my computer. I'm not editing this video, so I'm sorry. I'm just going to, actually airdrop this to myself. Dun, dun, there it goes. Okay. I'm not editing this video, so you guys just have to sit tight for a second. This is how we do it bare bones these days. We're dealing with important stuff here. Okay. All right. So hold on one second. Let me pull that up. Okay. All right. So here we are. Let me pull Chrome up, and then I'll pop this up over. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to minimize this. And I actually want to open the Finder. I want to drag this in here. Okay, perfect. Here we go. This is from Brian Evans, as you can see here. Jeff Mahoney will also add to his position over time. Jeff, the billionaire, is going to market buy all the time. He doesn't dump. Only way later scheduled market caps. Cliff, yeah, Jeff is buy only with no selling for weight. I'm sure he'll be the same with Ben. His first number, where he'd even consider little bits of scaling out, is around 500 million market cap in this case. And this is the agreement that we had, that they were not going to sell any of their coins. We always talked about it. Look at our Bitcoin treasury. Look at our address. We've got almost 27 trillion. We haven't touched it. Tiny expenses and OTC deals. That's it. We haven't sold a single token to do anything other than, I don't even think we've ever sold a single token from there. The ETH that we've spent, or if we ever had to move stuff around, it was done with money from the liquidity pool. The liquidity pool profits, not from the original market that we were given here, okay, or the original amount that we were given when this thing was bought from bin.eth. So what's really interesting is they said they were going to scale out around 500 million, and this was the agreement. Well, sometime around the beginning of August, Cliff starts saying, "Hey, like, we're going to start selling a little bit," and I'm like, "No, don't do that. That's going to dump the price. Like, maybe we can work out something where we can buy, your half from you." And so we were kind of having some conversations about that. However, I was not aware that Jeff or that Cliff and Brian, I don't know what Jeff knows, but Cliff and Brian were given information about what was about to happen to me, which is weird because supposedly what was supposed to happen to me, again, gone from a company, started from some kind of dispute. And this was 4 days before the dispute even began. This was already in motion, guys. This was already in motion. I'm not going to talk about the situation, the case, but my point is these guys right here were given information, and what did they do with it? Did they ever care about crypto adoption? Did they ever care about Bitcoin? Well, let's take a look here at some of these addresses. This address right here is the address that Jet and I agreed we were going to do a swap of $100,000 worth of Bitcoin for $100,000 worth of weight. Now, what's interesting is I guess whoever was in charge of sending this actually sent like $100,000, and we only got $50,000 back for weight. And so the agreement is we weren't going to sell it ever. Which, hey, Jeff, I didn't know your name. Jet, I sold it all today. I sold all my Hourglass today. It was $30,000 worth. I'm sorry, but you sold over $1 million worth of Bitcoin in a few days, but I digress. I'm sorry I dumped my $30,000 worth of weight tokens, completely worthless weight tokens, Jet. But let's move on here, because you start digging around here and you start looking. Let's see, that was page 2. Page 1 here, you guys can see has weight in it, 816. You can see they got rid of 1.387 trillion Bitcoin they sold. Now, they sent this the way they would sell this, they would send it into exchanges. Remember, these guys promised that they were not going to sell. Now, look at this date. On August 16th, they started selling. Very interesting. We go back and we look at the Bitcoin price, and you go here and you say, August 16th, I don't know. The price was right here. This is when the selling started. And so that was just a little bit about what was to come. So here we go. This is the Big Bopper address, and I know this is the correct address. Why? Because we transferred money to this address very early on. I want you guys to look at this, okay? I want you guys to look at these dates. Let's go all the way to page 4. That's right, guys. 4 pages of dumping on ETHplorer, okay? So on August 3rd, some coins started selling. A total of $29.5 trillion worth of coins were dumped here, okay? So you start looking into this, and 900 billion in, 900 billion out to an exchange address. And we're going to talk about what this exchange address is in just, actually, let's just take a look. Here's the address here. This is, as you guys can see, an exchange wallet. It's got $800 million in it. So you come here, you search Bitcoin. Well, they've got $15 trillion on there. Let's try to, or 15 trillion Bitcoin. Let's figure out what this is. Here's NOFI. You can go here and you can look at the top of their holdings, and you can see a couple of these coins. Suzuverse and NFI. Pretty distinct. I mean, I can't believe there's millions of dollars even in these things. But if you look at NFI, you go to markets, you got Bybit and you got MEXC. Then you go here to Suzuverse and you have MEXC. They were dumping all of their coins on MEXC where you can buy and sell Bitcoin. That's what they were doing the entire time. That's what they've been doing. I want to show you guys this again here because this is page 4. At first, and the reason why when you see the chart here, that it almost looks a little sideways here. It's almost kind of starting to recover a little bit. Remember, nothing gets public with me until the 27th, okay? So you can see here that they were trying to manage their dumping. Now remember, we had an agreement that they weren't going to sell until a $500 million market cap. The market cap at this point is probably around $20 million, 18, 17, something like that. I'm not exactly sure where it was, but these guys directly lied. They screwed over the Bitcoin community. You have a billionaire that can't be patient because $1.7 million went into this, and they got some of their money back, and then the liquidity dropped, and then the trading fees or the trading dropped, and they weren't making their money, and they decided to just totally F over the Bitcoin community. Here's the great thing, though. The great thing about this is they're gone now. They're out of Bitcoin, so we don't have to worry about this anymore, but these people need to be held accountable for what they did. You can go look at our wallet. You can see 26 trillion or so in there. We haven't touched it. Then go look at their wallet. And here, we'll put the addresses down below. I want you guys to see this, okay? 8/11, 900 billion. August 15th, 2.35 trillion. August 17th, 1 trillion. August 17th, another trillion. Let's keep going. Another trillion on the 18th. Another trillion on the 18th. On the 21st, another trillion. Another trillion on the 21st. Now, let's see, things are about to hit the fan here. 1.39 trillion. 1 trillion on the 22nd. 2 trillion on the 23rd. Things are heating up. 390 billion on whatever day that was. But here's where it gets good, guys. 24th, 1 trillion. The 25th, 2 trillion. And of course, Jet had dispersed these all of his Bitcoin to 3 addresses. And so what you're seeing in this wallet is you're seeing what the money coming in is all of the Bitcoin that he's transferring from these other wallets all into one to send to MEXC to do the selling. In one swoop on the 27th, the morning that this happened, see, they've been biding their time and then it became public. The backers of the coin, $7.78 trillion. And I would tell you this, if you're a Bitcoin investor, I would consider a class action lawsuit against these guys. I would consider a class action lawsuit against these guys. Okay? You look here, 4.39 trillion. In one day, you've got, let's see, on one day on the 27th, you have about 12 trillion. For 12 trillion they sold in 2 transactions like that on MEXC. Now let's go back and let's check this out. Why do you think this happened? For all intents and purposes, the backer of this coin, they rugged. And they rugged me. And knowing that they're capable of this, you can look back at the history of the Bitcoin chart and you can see what was happening. Every time we get in momentum, these guys were selling their coin. Because Brian had turned on me. Well, Brian's always been a loser, but he turned on me along with some people he's close to. And all these people have a common investment. That's a company that I was somewhat associated with. So let people read into that what it is. But the fact is that these people have absolutely crushed the price. We are now recovering. And I want the Bitcoin community to understand, just as I learned over the last 2 months, sometimes there's a lot of foxes in the hen house. But the thing is, sometimes the foxes, they look like chickens. They're wearing one of them little chicken hats. You guys know the chicken hats? You got the things you squeeze on the side and the beak goes up. I just forgot what a chicken says. What does a chicken say? What noise does a chicken make? That's chicken, right? I can't tell if it's a chicken or an Easter bunny. That's what the Cadbury egg place says. But the fact is, these people colluded together in order to sell Bitcoin and crush it at the bottom. They wanted to hurt me. I wouldn't play along with their pump hourglass scheme. I wouldn't play along whatever they wanted to do. And now they punish us. They knew this was coming. You can tell by the selling leading up the days before all this occurred. These people, Jeff Mahoney, Jet, look at that. Wow. Probably not the first time he's had something that big in his hand. And Brian Evans. These are some of the worst scammers in our entire space. Next Crypto Gym as a show, and I will tell you this, there's more people involved in that show. I know we're involved in all this, but I'm not going to call them out because I don't know. I probably should just call everybody out, but I'm going to stop short of that because I'm not trying to make more enemies. But I will say, these people were my enemies the whole time. These were foxes in the Bitcoin henhouse. They were foxes that were always all about money. They didn't care anything about crypto adoption. All they cared about was getting rich. And when they thought that was going to take a little longer than they thought, they were willing to cut the baby in half to get their money. These are the exact kind of people that we warn you about to stay as far away as possible from. If you're involved with Brian Evans, you need to run to the hills. And I guarantee you that there are tons of people out there that have been involved with Brian Evans and some other people. And it's weird. You were in a project with him and it was doing well. You were in an NFT project with him and he was doing well. And then what happened? All of a sudden, the price dumped out of nowhere. This is the face. Brian Evans is the face of crypto rug pulls. I believe there's a lot more stuff that's very evil in crypto that he's also the face of. But I'm not going to go there for right now for this video. Bitcoin is now free from these people. Bitcoin is now at a place where we no longer have to worry about Ben.eth dumping, right? I'm not saying anything bad about Ben's not involved in any of this. I'm not trying to talk bad about Ben. He's actually going to probably come on my show maybe next week. But the point is, the community worried about that for a long time. The community didn't know that they were actually looking at the wrong villain. They didn't know that they were watching the wrong people. Guys, we had agreements for them not to sell. We talked about a certain amount for OTC. They pulled extra amounts for OTC and sold it to a bunch of people that I bet if we went back and we looked, I bet all those people dumped too. And I'm going to find those receipts. I'm hot on the trail. The point is, all of these people are gone from Bitcoin right now. And I want you to know that you're never going to see a person work harder on a project. You're never going to see someone be more passionate about a project. You're never going to see someone sacrifice more in order to make a project great than I'm going to. Is it because I love crypto and I love crypto adoption? I do love crypto. I do love crypto adoption. Yeah, definitely. Is it because I want you to make money? Well, yeah, I do want you to make money, right? I want adoption. I want you to make money. Is it about spiting my mother trucking enemies? These people have tried to destroy me. These people invited me on their show, got me in the circle, and then stabbed me in the back. Sounds like a familiar story, doesn't it? Sounds familiar. The fact is, I will not let these people win. I'm already winning. I will not let these people in their crappy show win. I'm going to win. Bitcoin is going to win. Bitcoin investors are going to win. And if you want to fade Ben Armstrong, take a look at what's happened. I'm unfadeable. Bitcoin is going to be on the map. It's going to be the catalyst for crypto adoption. And I'm going to put my name behind that. And I have, because the name of the coin is Bitcoin. If you're in the Bitcoin community, number one, I love you. If you held through the Jet and Jeff Mahoney dumping, if you held through that, you're getting rewarded. We're working on those rewards right now. If you lost money in the SIM card swapping ring that occurred on Twitter, and there's a lot of stuff moving in the background with that, when V2 launches, as long as you filled out that form that we had out, you're getting your money back. We do what is required to make people whole, even if it wasn't their fault. These other people, they'll just stab you in the back and steal your coins. These people need to be held accountable. If you're in the Bitcoin community, then you have now seen the face of the enemy. And man, I don't know. That's an ugly looking dude. That's all I got to say. Be blessed.